Love is our true divine nature, and our heart serves as the intersection of the spiritual and physical, connecting our soul with our body as the conduit for anchoring our divinity onto the earth plane. Embodying our divinity is the key to our ascension and to manifesting our highest destiny in this life. The teachings of the heart are alchemy. Join spiritual mentor and channel Jennifer Spohr each week on a sacred journey to lift the veil to remembering your divinity and meet other beautiful souls who are living the path of the awakened heart. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am very honored and overjoyed to have with us as a guest today Viviane Chauvet. She is an Arcturian Ambassador, Intergalactic Teacher, published author, international speaker, creator of the Arcturian Healing Arts Program and Arcturian Energy Matrix Healing, founder of the Arcturian Online Community, CEO of Infinite Healing from the Stars LLC, host of the Infinite Star Connections podcast and the new radio show Arcturian Conversations. Viviane is renowned for her advanced healing services and has conducted over 23,000 private sessions worldwide in the last 12 years. Wow, such an amazing list of accomplishments. So excited to have you join us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. It is an accomplishment. I've been very busy helping people all over the world, and I love to have these very heart-to-heart conversations. This is what a joy to be here with you.
Yes, absolutely. Likewise. Thank you so much. Viviane, I would love for you to share with us your story around how you were drawn to this work.
Absolutely. So as you introduced me, my name is Viviane Chauvet, and I've been doing my Arcturian holographic frequency healing work for 12 years from a public perspective. But well before that, I would remember even in my 20s, I would always bring support, whether it's to my coworkers at school, family. I've been like the one where people come to and wants to confide and says, I feel like you have something and I need. I feel there's something about you and your energy that I'm drawn to. So this has really been the synergy of my path. And of course, I have always said yes because I have chosen the path of the heart, the path of ascension, the path of mastery. And so when we look at the word healing in itself, this big umbrella, the word healing itself, even on a quantum, it's shifting. And so what it means that I'm allowing the vibrational work to take place where the person needs the most. So the needs have changed on the planet for the last 4 years compared to when I started publicly 12 years ago doing my work. It was a very specific way where it was more like body oriented. It was more in terms of rediscovering, there's pain and aches and being able to open pathway. Today, that healing energy is very different because there's a greater awakening of consciousness that has been taking place over the last 5 years, and I would say especially the last 4 years, in understanding that this is part or has been part of my journey to help people remembering the pathway of their own, what I call their own blueprint, their own perfection. So we look at you always from a perspective that you already are whole, complete, and perfect. But sometimes there's this disconnect, distortion. There's historical overlays that gets in the way. There's either karmic burden that you carry on your shoulders, whether it's genetic memories that contribute as a factor, and so forth. So we're looking at more is what seems to get in the way for you to remember that pathway that is already within you. So that has been extremely helpful for people in a sense that it creates greater potential and it becomes more tangible and accessible for people rather to say, well, I'll do it for like Reiki or energy and I'll work with your chakra. Well, will want to fix this or remove that. And we said, no, no, there's no need for that. We work with you already in the field that it understand that you already are this divine being. We're simply reconnecting the dots to help you realize it so you can embody it, if that makes sense.
Vivian, there's so much to unpack from what you shared. Thank you so much. And something I do want to mention, I love what you said about how you're working with clients from a place, or from on a plane where they're already whole, right? It's essentially like you are reconnecting the dots. I believe that's what you said. I believe that as well, that, healing isn't really coming from a place where we're broken or incomplete, but rather that we're already whole, and it's more from a space of remembering that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And the pathway of remembrance, it's what we feel accelerates tremendously the ability to restore ourselves. And not only from the body template perspective, because we know the body is a very intelligent, holistic system, but it also helps us to reconnect with either past life memories, intergalactic origin, aspect of our multidimensional self. So we're stepping into a more multidimensionality rather than having a 3D linear approach to the umbrella of healing. And it's really supporting the conscious evolution and the pathway back to alignment a lot more and much more effectively than it used to be. So this is why we always invite everyone to remain adaptable, teachable, and fluid with any process of changes and transformation. Taking the time to listening to any form of changes, whether it's emotional, new thoughts process coming in, the body shifting in a new direction. When you are in the flow and you are in with those changes, you start to understand very much where they are originating from, where are their point of origins, and how much it in response most likely to either all the healing work you've done, the dedication to your spiritual journey, meditation, being more present, more conscious as a human being. So this is why I love observing how much people are really shifting. And it's worthwhile. That's the beauty of it, is truly it's a global phenomenon happening more and more.
Vivian, for those who aren't as familiar with the Arcturians and their energy, could you please share more with us about that?
Yes, of course. So Arcturians are known as a very advanced spiritually and ascended intergalactic group. We come from the realm of Arcturus, which is physically located in the Bootes constellation. The Bootes constellation is about 36 to 37 light years from the solar system, from this quadrant. Think of it this way: Arcturians are truly masters of light. We have the capacity to live in the same physical form for thousands of years if we wish to. So we have learned to go beyond the 3D, or what you're going through right now, a 3D baseline evolution. We have shifted and reached already ascent of ascension. And Arcturians are really well known to also be great teachers. We are observers, and we also helps to teach, redirect the flow of the evolution, whether it's the ascension process. We support many, many planets in their own next soul evolution. We bring guidance, we bring really practical tools. Our roles will increase as the Earth is continuing to shift and move into a more higher fifth dimensional frequency base. Our role will be able to bring in next level of teachings. And think of it this way: we We are truly example, we are model of future potential of what you can reach. And so they're really beautiful beings, full of light, full of love. There's such a magnificence, radiance presence about them. And we've been working with many light workers around the world, whether it's a form of connections, guidance, meditation, teachings, whether it's visions, whether it's support that really helps to accelerate the planetary ascension process. They are really beautiful beings, and I'm very happy to be a part of that civilization.
Thank you so much for educating us. As as we know, the answers are all ultimately within us, right? As we've said, we are already whole. It's simply a matter of reconnecting the dots. And so, what would your insight be as to discernment between having the willingness to do the deeper exploration to find the answers on one's own versus having a knowing of when it's time to reach out for support?
It's a great question because the key in the word of discernment is to be able to trust your ability that you understand, you know, and you recognize. So discernment comes from a higher natural ability for everyone to utilizing their own guidance systems. But at the same time, is to understanding if there's a fragmentation in you or filters or limitations that may be tempering with that discernment. So, in other words, what aspect of you seems to speak the loudest for you? Is it a fearful energy that you still carry in your field? Is it the mind? So many people have withdrawn to their mind as a protective device, as a place of safety, familiarity, and stability. Well, if you are retracted mostly in the mental field, that your level of discernment will be equivalent of that what your mind is able to perceive, accept, and understand. So this is going to be really an ongoing exploration of rediscovering that it is safe for you now to reconnect with the center of your being through your heart center, reactivating your crystalline core of empowerment in the middle section of your solar plexus, and to utilizing your body as an intelligence system for guidance, directions, communication, being able to feel throughout your body when something comes to you. For example, if you feel inspired about something you're listening to, like this conversation, well, watch where your body, how your body responds, and where in your body the energy goes. So just be more attuned to understanding that your entire self, not just the mind, but your mind, your heart, your intuition, your chakra system, your body as a template, every part of you can be engaged in recognizing what we call discernment. And the word itself, discernment, it's going to fluctuate in meanings. So we will simply simplify it to trust from an intuitive wisdom part of yourself that what you're receiving, if it's designed to uplift you, give you guidance, encouragement, to sometimes bring different perspective to supporting you moving out of very limiting visions or fear energies or contractive energies? Or is it designed to create more fear or control or oppression? So you have to look in terms of every part of you knows. So it's the invitation to really step out of the 3D logic mind and to retrain your mind to know that there is so much more to you. And at the soul level, as a very ancient divine being, the human part of you is experiencing through that wisdom and that wise aspect of you but then you have to reconcile those aspects. In other words, are you still thinking of yourself as a simple 3D Earth human? Then it's fine. This is how you're evolving. This is how you learn. But at the same time, the invitation is, do you accept that there's so much more to you? There's so many more facets to your experience, whether it's vibrational, emotional, spiritual, and even physical. There's a multitude of experiences available to you. So again, pay attention. Where am I right now? What part of me is engaged? Am I being triggered? If that's the case, then for what purpose? And so forth. So I think that really bring a beautiful summary of what the word discernment is about.
Yes, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. There are so many being called to step into, the next evolution, right? People are stepping into higher frequencies quite rapidly, it feels like. And a lot of people are being called to step into the next evolution of their purpose and mission here. What is your advice on how to more on how someone can more easily and gracefully allow their soul gifts to come forward, that next evolution?
Beautiful question. So for one thing, you need to release. You need to release the energy of attachments toward past history, your past history, whether it's your upbringing, cultural, maybe it's religion, maybe what you've been taught in school. And especially if you went into higher education, there's a lot of programming at these levels. Looking at what potentially are you still carrying. Think of it this way. Imagine when you were a student, whether it's high school or college, and the more books you carry around in your backpack, well, over time, after a semester or two, your shoulders and your spine will tell you, like, oh, the heavy burden of your books is a little too much. But if you insist that you need to carry all the books from the previous semester into the next one, and then from the semester to the next again, it comes to the point to say, how much more can you carry? So this is a good analogy, a visual to keep, to see that what layer of your past history is still playing out, whether it's ancestral, genetic, whether it's through lineages, mother, father, those who have had a huge influence and impact at any stage of your life, and even historical. So the more you allow yourself to recognize that all of these layers of historical experiences are like books that you may carry around. Imagine saying, okay, now I'm going to bring all of these layers of past experiences, like books of history, and I'm going to close them one after another with peace, completion, understanding I'm only extracting the lesson and the wisdom earned. And I'm going to now visualize, I'm going to archive all of those books into my own soul Akashic records, imagining entering into this beautiful hallway of a lot of books that represent all the sum of your soul experiences from different lifetimes and timelines and places, and to bring those books, that stack of books, as it relate to you in this lifetime, and say, I am now truly ready to archive them. So it's a symbology of saying, I no longer need to carry so much in my field or in my heart or in my mind, in my subconscious mind, becoming more available and creating more room, more space to embrace the next set of experiences, opportunities, learning, knowledge, and different form of communications that may come my way. So from a galactic perspective, we call it shifting dimensional frequency or dimensional experiences. And that would be a really good place to start and cultivate that every day, every day. Watch yourself. Where am I right now? Am I panicking, or am I feeling more solid? Am I feeling grounded? Where am I? And allow yourself more and more and more archives those books, so to speak. I think that would be a really good place to start, to continue, and expand from.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Absolutely. And I want to highlight what you said about essentially being present. You know, that is talked about a lot in the personal development industry, but not so much as to really how to cultivate deeper mindfulness. What would your insights be on that?
Keep it simple. Simple practices such as every day I'm going throughout the day to monitor where am I. Is my mind carried away with me? Or is my mind spinning 1,000 miles an hour with a multitude of thoughts? Am I too distracted or watching the next YouTube, but I want to know more? All of these points of reference allows you to shift your presence, bring yourself back in the here and now, because overly projection in the future will create a lot of anxiety and fear. And too much projection in the past can create a lot of grief, nostalgia, sadness. So it's a great blend of I recognize what I have learned, I recognize what I'm really ready to move forward from, and I understand that there's no need for me to know all there is about the future because it's impossible to know everything. The future is unfolding as we speak now. So it is the now unfolding onto itself indefinitely. So that means that, yes, there's a pathway. Yes, your higher self understands and knows. So the more you are allowing yourself to get the guidance that you need step by step, and still some of you will may receive some visions or impression of what may to come. You can look in astrology and all of this. But remember, those are just markers. They're potentials. No one can predict with certainty what's coming because it's unfolding in time and space. And it all also greatly depends on what the vast majority of the collective consciousness of humanity is willing to accept, being influenced by, or are you taking your power and says, look, I recognize what has been said, whether it's government structures, authority, social media, and other sources. At the same time, I know I have this certainty, this knowingness in my heart that I am here to implement something much more than what has been convinced for me, what has been pushed into my reality. So again, the word discernment will come into play to supporting you into any tiny decision. It can be as simple as today I choose to go to the grocery store and I'm going to be very neutral in my energy. I'm going to avoid overly projecting anger, energy, stress. I'm in a hurry. People gets on my nerves. You can change that. You can say, I recognize other people's emotions where they come from. At the same time, I choose differently. That means that I choose to stay centered, connected, refreshed, and I'm going to be vibrating instead, more positive vibration, energy, and allow yourself to be this way and see what changes for you first. And then watch, have fun observing around you. I do that all the time. I do this regardless of where I am. Even when I travel, I will bring myself back in myself, say, okay, recentered, refreshed, take a deep breath. I clear my field. I choose to clear my field of what I may have absorbed. I choose to no longer allowing others' distortion to affect me. I protect my core. I am a being of light. And when I reset, then I can choose again. And then I can have fun with sending more light and see what people change and how it affect places, situations inside of an airplane, on the bus. can be anywhere. There's nothing mundane anymore. This is an illusion. There's nothing mundane anymore. We are shifting rapidly. It's up to you to feel like, what is it you wish to experience and how you want to experience it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That resonates. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Vivian, what else are you feeling guided to bring forward in this now moment?
Well, thank you for asking. So far, it's been incredible, great flow. When we are feeling calling, and I say we as a representative, direct ambassador with the Arcturians, it's all of us. It's our presence, our mastery, our light. Just remember when you look up to the stars at night and you look at the moon and the stars and everything, remember that the same intelligence that is in you is reflecting back and looking back at you as well. So, in other words, it's truly an intelligent exchange. So instead of looking at the stars and looking at them from a point of, what are brilliant, it's beautiful, I feel a calling, it must be nice to be out there, more in terms of, I am part of the stars, I am part of that vastness in the sky, it is a part of who I am. And that part of the sky and the stars is also a part of me. Feel how much you are truly part of creation, part of a large community of life, sentient life form here on this earth, in the solar system, in this galaxy and beyond. Just feel it's looking at the stars from a point of higher consciousness, connecting and reaching out to higher consciousness. Take your place back. It's time. It's time to leave the illusions away, time to step out of the old identities and the mask and the Halloween costumes. It is time for you, all of you, to step into your role as a divine being, as a guardian for the earth, to be in tune with other life form, whether it's animal, whether it's tree, whether it's the way you mow your lawn, you're connecting with the earth, the way you manage your home. Are you really present with what you do, or are you on autopilot? Get off the autopilot, return to your heart, look at the sky, feel that you are part of something infinitely bigger than what you were led to believe. And that would be another message for today.
Thank you for that. Vivian, for those who are feeling drawn to connect more deeply with you, where do you recommend they go?
Absolutely. The one place where we have everything. My beautiful website that was designed by a beautiful Andromedan walk-in. So the website is Infinite Healing from the Stars. That is Infinite Healing from the Stars.com. We have everything there, the podcast. We have my collaboration of books, a documentary link. We have also an online membership program, community. We have a lot to offer. We're growing exponentially. There's going to be much more. You're welcome to connect, subscribe to our newsletter, stay connected, and let's continue this journey together.
Thank you, Vivian. We will also have those links in the show notes for those who are listening. And I want to thank you. And it's such an honor to have had you here to connect for this conversation today and to be able to receive all of your wisdom. And I know those who are listening to this conversation will deeply appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for an open heart and open mind. Thank you, everyone listening. It is really truly a pleasure. We are here to be of service.
Thank you for listening to Path of the Awakened Heart. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or pathoftheawakenedheart.com so you never miss an episode. To learn more about living with an awakened heart and navigating your ascension journey, visit me at jenniferspore.com.